Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is UMAYRA and I am from group Notdecided. And in this video, we will demonstrate how we built a complete CI/CD pipeline for our project, which is the student task tracker. But before the setup, let's explain what CI/CD actually means and why it is method. And so, first is the concept of CI/CD. So CI stands for continuous integration. In a team, several developers work on the same code base at the same time, and without a clear process, combining everyone's work becomes messy and full of conflicts. So continuous integration solves this by having every developer to push their changes frequently to a shared repository. And each time code is pushed, an automated process kicks in and it builds the application and run tests automatically to make sure that the new code works and doesn't break anything that already exists. So instead of discovering problems weeks later, the team catches them within minutes of every changes. And to continue, continuous delivery or deployment. So this is what CD stands for, which is the continuous delivery or continuous deployment. And once the code has passed all the automated builds and tests, CD takes over and automatically prepares the software for release. And with continuous delivery, the application is always kept in a ready-to-release state, and a person simply approve it to deploy. And with continuous deployment, it goes one step further, which is every change that passes the test is released automatically with no manual steps at all. And either way, releasing software becomes fast, reliable, and repeatable, and instead of the slow, stressful manual task flow. And next is how it automates the workflow. So across the whole process, CI/CD automates four key things, which is the integration of everyone's code, the testing that catches bug early, the deployment that ships the software, and also the monitoring that watches the running application and feeds any issues back to the developers. So this creates a continuous feedback loop where every release is automatically checked, delivered, and improved. So for our student task tracker, we implemented this using self-hosted GitLab for the pipeline, SonarQube for code quality, and Jira for issue tracking, and all running on DigitalOcean server. In the rest of this video, we will show you exactly how we set up. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is AIZAT and I'm going to run through how to install the droplet via the DigitalOcean. So we pick the droplet from the quick menu and then choose the database center as Singapore as is close to us. And then we pick up the specs. For this setup, we required to install the minimum of 8 gigabytes of RAM, and then the $40 should be nice. And then adding the SSH key would be in this particular section where you have to generate your SSH key from your local device and then place your public key there. And then in this case, I name it as my SSH key. And then we click add as I've already added, so I just going to pick up mine. And then all the other things we are not needed in this project, so just leave it by default. And then set up the droplet name as our project name, which is student tracker. And then for software construction. And then after we're done with all that, we check out the spec before creating the droplet itself, and then click on create. And then the DigitalOcean dashboard will show that the droplet is being created, and it will take a few minutes to actually run on the server. So this is the initial step in the project that we have to create the droplet and then give it the initial root SS key. And then here, I actually bought a cheap domain to be used with the droplets. So for hosting our GitLab and other stuff, we'll be using this domain, and then can be accessed here in the domain section, which is our group name, and then it directs to the droplet itself. For now, I cannot find the page because nothing has been actually set up yet, just the domain itself. So now we move on to the terminal side. We can access our droplet directly using the SSH key that have been set up during the initial creation. So for mine, I already set the config for SSH student tracker, and then it links to the public IP of the droplet, and then my SSH key, and then we update the droplet for the initial setup. This part going to take a bit long, so I'm gonna speed up the video. So this is going to be the initial setup for the GitLab. As you can see here, we go into a temporary directory and then we copy the GitLab repo from GitHub and then we install it here. Okay, after all the initial setup have been done, can access our GitHub via the local link, and then we use the temporary password they set up for us to root in into access, root in into admin access, sorry. And then, so with the password given, we can directly log in using the root UID, and then the temporary password to log in into GitHub, and it will prompt us to enter the group name and then the project name that we want to create our first project in. And the system will prompt us to set up our profile soon. So we will officially land into the GitLab dashboard, as you can see here, student task record. Okay, now I will show you the setup for SonarQube also. So for SonarQube, we are going to host SonarQube in another droplet instead of using the same droplet for performance. And then for this one, we don't need to pick like the same spec as the GitLab one. So I will just go with the $32 plan. So the setup will be exactly the same as previous one, adding the SSH key and then configuring the name of the droplet. So same as before, we're going to SSH to the created droplet, and I already set up the config for this one, same as the project droplet. And then this will be the place where we're going to install our SonarQube. So now after all the installation has been done, the terminal will tell you that the SonarQube is operational, and then we can log in into our SonarQube. So in the login page, this system will want you to log in with the temporary credential, and then we will have to create a new password to make it more secure. Now we successfully access the SonarQube hosted in our droplet, and then this is the dashboard of the SonarQube, where you can import project from GitHub and stuff, or create your own local project. I'm going to create a local project for this specific project. So after creating the project, we will go to my account and then to the security page to generate token that will be used within GitLab to pull the code from the GitLab repo that we are going to push our code into. So now the token have been generated. I'm going to copy it to our clipboard to be safe for future use. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NAJWA ASYILAH, and the task I have been assigned in this project is doing the Jira and also GitLab integration. So for both of this platform, the main purpose is doing the task tracking. And also for Jira, it is widely used in the industry for both individuals, which is the developer and also non-developer, because Jira platform is easy to understand compared to GitHub or GitLab. That is why we are combining both of these to ease both parties, which is the developer and also non-developer side. First of all, I would like to tell you on how to integrate both of these platforms. So this is the Jira platform, which have all the related tasks for each of developer that is developing the project. So this is the name of my group mates. And in this project, I have been assigned to do the email notification features, which is the ID is Note 5. This Note 5 will later use in the Visual Studio platform that will also be passed to the GitLab and also get Jira platform. Okay, how can I combine both of these platforms? First of all, in Jira platform, we need to generate an API token, and this API token can be placed into the GitLab platform. And this API token generation can be done by only one of the person in the group, and it will just be shared by everyone, which means that once the API have been passed to the GitLab platform, everyone can just use the GitLab platform together by only one API token. So I will just generate my token in the security platform, which is in the API token, create and manage API token. And then I will pass the API token that I have generated to our GitLab project, group project platform. In the project platform, I will just search for settings and integration and just paste every details that is needed into the Jira issues integration. So after I have done everything, I will just go and do my changes in the code and go to the terminal and just type git add and then git -n note 5 changes in overdue reminder. But so this means that each time I want to do my commit to both Jira and also GitLab, I need to put the keyword, the ID, which is Note 5. So if my other groupmates want to track their changes, they need to put their ID, designated ID, which is Note 3, Note 4, Note 2, or Note 1. So the commit will be shown in the task itself, which will be shown over here. The web links will show if I have done anything in the code. So commit 5, Note 5, for example, testing Jira integration, I have done this before, so it will show in this platform. Because Jira have a lot of things that we can track over here. So for the Jira part, for the GitLab part, we will just focus in the web links platform. And these changes also will be updated in the GitHub platform, which will be shown in the history of commits, which is over here. And that is all from me for the Jira and also GitLab integration. Thank you.
So next is setting up the CI/CD pipeline and checking the SonarQube code quality. So first, since AIZAT only granted me access to the remote Linux server droplet via SSH, like here, I log into a terminal and realize our server didn't have a GitLab running application installed. As you can see here, it shows that it's kind of like stops right here. So I install the GitLab runner, which then shows that it's online right now. So now, however, when I tested the pipeline, like right here, when I tested the pipeline, it failed because our runner uses Docker to scan the code, and Docker wasn't on our server at that time. So what I did is that I manually installed Docker on our droplet, configured it to start up automatically on boot, and updated the system permission so that the GitLab runner user had full access to this Docker safely. So with our server completely ready, I cleaned up our pipeline code. I created Sonar project properties file here for our team's authentication tokens, host IP, and project key names. So as you can see on the final pipeline run is a total success. The runner successfully spins up Docker container, scanned all our JavaScript, TypeScript files, and uploads the results straight to our SonarQube dashboard. Here it shows the job succeeded. So here is our SonarQube dashboard code overview. It shows failed because, well, maybe because our code has multiple duplications. It doesn't have like zero coverage, so it's failed. But basically, the SonarQube access is successful. So now our project automatically checks bugs and code quality every time we push new changes. So that's all for my part. Thank you.